Boom, welcome back to Sebs Show, everybody. It's your boy Sebs, co-host Gib, and today we're breaking down UFC Boise, Dos Santos versus Ivanov. So it's Blagoy's first time in the octagon. We're gonna see how he does. Let's see these heavyweights throw down. Pretty good card from top to bottom. We're gonna break it down. And right now, first fight we got up is Jessica Aguilar taking on Jodi Escobar. And I just watched tape on Jodi Escobar, and she used to be a pro boxer. She's got a really nice front teeth.
Yeah.
She moves in and out of danger really well. Like moves in and out of the pocket really well. She's strong for her size. She's got good takedown defense, and she like can beat a tough task in front of her, but like she also goes three. She went 3 rounds with KK, so that's something I think. I think she got robbed in that Ashley Yoder fight from Tough, and yeah, man, like pretty much she wins when she's supposed to. What I got from half the battle there, Dan and Shaq, is from their breakdown, and it's true. Uh, she wins when she's supposed to. She wins when she's supposed to. So I like Jodi Escobar in this situation. Jessica Aguilar is coming off a loss to Courtney Casey at 211, where she got beat up from the bottom. She was getting up kicked from the bottom and just getting beat up on the feet wherever the fight went, pretty much. And even though she got a couple single legs on her, like she still got 30-27. So I don't know. And before that, she lost to Claudia Gadelha, and she like that was like 2 years before that, and like she's just old, man. She's like 36 or something. She's been fighting for a while now. She's pretty much like a legend in like women's MMA. I would guess, and yeah, I don't see her like really like doing too much here to threaten Jodi. So I took Jodi. I took the shot on Jodi, 2.72 units at -136 to win 2 units. Let's go.
Yeah, I think Jessica's definitely scrappy. She doesn't care to make the fight ugly if she has to, just to get the takedowns and go for submissions. And she could be a lot to handle on the floor at times with some fighters who have their back against the cage. And I thought she had constant aggression in that Katlyn fight. Jessica Aguilar, sorry, Jodi Escobar, on the other hand, light on the feet. She likes that boxing stance. She's in and out movement. Likes to throw body shots into the head, spending a lot of time far away and plotting her way into fights pretty intelligently. She's got a nice stutter step that she uses when she's really far, and it closes the distance real quick. And Jodi's able to get takedowns and even escape from a really good armbar. If you watch that Deanna Bennett fight, she gets out of a real deep armbar, and I thought that her holding on to that arm and going to the end of the bell really got her in a good place for the next few rounds, since her arms and legs seemed a bit killed from the groundwork, and she was able to come back in that fight. So I think that's a big feat, and I like Jessica Escobar because of that. So I think she'll be able to take it. And I mean, Jessica's gonna be a scrapper. Don't get me wrong; she's got some years on her too. But Escobar seems ready for this at this time.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think Escobar's ready. Next up is Elias Garcia versus Mark De La Rosa. And Elias Garcia, I didn't do much tape on him. I actually didn't do any tape on him from what I saw. Yeah, like I didn't get around to it yet. I'm gonna do tape right after the show is done because there's a potential bet.
Check out David Williams, by the way.
Him versus David Williams.
Yeah.
Okay. That's on YouTube.
I think so.
Okay. But yeah, Elias Garcia was in combo, and in Mexico, and he pretty much performed in front of Dana White, and Dana White had him in years attacked there or whatever. Poor guy, and he had to go back to his hotel room, but he told on the show, he told Dean Thomas and Matt Serra, he told Matt Serra that like whoever wins this fight out of these two guys signed them. So it was Elias Garcia versus Adam Antolin, and Elias Garcia straight out stiffed them in the first round. Adam Antolin knocked Adam Antolin out cold. And I don't know, that's a big thing, man. He comes from a good camp at Rufus Sport. He's the cousin of Sergio Pettis and Anthony Pettis. I don't know. I like this kid a lot. From like doing no tape on him, I already like him, so that's why I'm already leaning him on a bet. Mark De La Rosa, on the other hand, lost to Tim Elliott. Wasn't at his. I think he fought at 135, but this is at 125. So I think he stepped up a weight because it was short notice. But yeah, Mark De La Rosa pretty much like has the fundamentals going on, but pretty much lacks in the ground game. He has a okay takedown and whatnot, but yeah, I don't know. I'm taking Elias here.
I mean, he's very elusive, and he's definitely got some speed that he gets on his punch, and especially when he gets really clean KOs. Very, very elusive. Submissions from the back. He's got great ground pound. Passing very fast.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, Elias Garcia.
Oh.
That's why I was just saying he had the hand speed, definitely. Again.
Yeah, his hand speed's ridiculous.
Yeah. I thought David Williams' fight was good because he had complete control over that fight, threatening many submissions and going to gobiplatas, even a rear naked armbar triangle. Very fast at going from one submission to another. He likes to do it a lot. Mark De La Rosa, the Bumblebee. I like that name. I think that really suits him. Just due to the fact that he really does kind of buzz around you if you let him, and he's got a lot of cool stuff in the wheelhouse. He's got some sweeps. He almost snagged an arm away from Tim Elliott before being slammed in that first round, which I actually found interesting because he's normally known for slamming other people. So he got a taste of his own medicine there, and obviously it kind of got tilted for him. But I think he's still strong, and he still has a lot to show that maybe he didn't get to do. He's got a pretty good double jab right hand, basic combinations that get him a lot of success in early fights before he got to the UFC. I think he's pretty accurate with it, and he threatens the guillotines a lot. So it'll be an interesting fight. I think Garcia takes it. But Mark definitely has the experience for him, especially since he's already had a fight in the UFC already.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised though. I'm looking forward to taping this one after we're done talking here. Next up is Liz Carmouche taking on Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Maia coming from Invicta. Not bad. She was a flyweight champ at Invicta. She beat girls like Aga Nijwitz or whatever her name is. I can't pronounce her last name. She beat. Let me go through the list now. Oh, she beat Roxanne Modafferi. I remember that. Yeah, split decision. Vanessa Porto. She even beat she even has a win over Jessica Andrade back in the day. So this girl likes, she comes from that shoot box style as well. So look out for that. But in this matchup against Liz Carmouche, you have to be aware of the takedowns.
Mm.
That's something that scared me off this play a little bit. But yeah, other than that, I think this is Jennifer Myers' fight to lose, and I'm taking Jennifer Myers here.
I think she'll be able to take on the aggression that Liz Carmouche comes with, because I'm not sure if you check this one out. She also fought a real good show with Leslie Smith from Invicta. Really big knees. After Leslie Smith would miss kicks, which very few people do. Well, more people who win against Leslie Smith, like Chris Cyborg. I mean, well, also the pressure. But right when she misses, what's her name? Jennifer Maya goes for that knee, lands it nice. She got an overhand. She's got a nice jab right. She tends to throw the same punches over and over, but she brings the kick, the front kick out every now and then, which is in trouble. And that was actually able to push her back a bit. Now, Leslie Smith, definitely the onslaught hurts because Leslie Smith won that fight, but it was good experience for her to fight someone who's really rough. And Liz Carmouche is that type of style entirely. She shows her skills in the grappling match with Maria Henderson with a really fast heel hook submission in like no time. Liz goes for some smacking shots. She goes for a lot of slaps when she's on the fence, and I actually like that. I think it's really distracting. I mean, you get hit in the eye sometimes, and again, you can get off the fence sometimes off of a bad reaction. And I see her kind of blow through holes that really shouldn't be there. She's busy off the back, able to threaten some triangles against Alexis Davis in the second round after getting up and landing all right hands, ending the round with a takedown. Awesome. She's really good at finishing like those last 30 seconds of the round. But it does tend to bite her in the very end when she comes out pretty much tanked. The last rounds are big chugs, so she could die in the third because of that pace. And it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be an interesting fight, this one. But I can see Liz Carmouche taking it. She's got the power, I would say.
I wouldn't doubt it. Would not doubt that.
But I like Jennifer Maya's fight, so yeah. But I'm going with Liz on this. What about you, man?
Yep. Next up is Kurt Holobaugh taking on Ronnie Barcelos, and I'll let you take this one, Gib.
Kurt Holobaugh has a 15-second KO over Lloyd Woodard. Really stinging shot early after a left kick and right hand right on the button. Now, I mean, a lot of people like to say lucky shot or whatever, but I mean, I think everyone wants to go home a little early. So this guy definitely had that capability at the time. Even fought against Andre the Bull Harrison, undefeated 18-0 fighter. Wins a lot of his fights by decision. But
that was a good fight.
Yeah. Yo, you watched that one? Holy.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
What a war, man. On the ground and stand up.
And that's when Andre the Bull was like only 9-0.
Yeah. I was about to say he didn't have 18 at all. 18 actually. So he was questionable at that time.
He was 9-0. He was just coming up. He was just a prospect coming up. That he fought Des Green right after that. Apparently, or I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, still undefeated. I checked it out. Again, he gives Harrison Style a test, and he really looked in trouble in a triangle choke. If you watch that, I know you saw that. He almost got him in it. Kurt shakes off some punches and kicks and can throw some tricky punches your way, or get a takedown that he started out in his career with 10-fight win streak, being I think like 6 being submission. Throws lots of body shots, which I like. Makes fighters pay for putting all their weight on that front leg or revealing their chin. And he can run out of steam on his feet, but if he misses submission, he can attempt to, or that he's attempting, tends to kill his arms and legs out. Very similar to a lot of grapplers who try to get the job done really quick, and it's just not that time. But Ronnie Barcelos, he charges forward, man. Oddly reminds me of Jose Aldo, actually, just from the way he looks and the way he actually fights. He barely steps back, and if he does, he shuffles into a move right away. Right and left hooks over the top since his hands are out wide, very open. When he sees kicks missing, he's on you, man. He's very fluid in his kicking motion. So when you really see him miss a kick, shit, you better get him because he doesn't miss very many, and he's got a hammer fist speed that's unreal fast. I mean, he hits like 3 times for every one of a lot of people's. He could be blitzing quick at times. He tends to chill a little bit too long. Even though, I mean, he can start and stop at any time, he can sprint himself out at times. So for that reason, I'm actually going for Kurt Holobaugh.
Yeah, I'm also on Kurt Holobaugh here. No bet. I was close to making a bet on him though, because I did like what I liked what I saw from the guy. Good hardware. Like me and Z were breaking this down through messaging on Twitter, and we're just saying he's got a good chin, he's got good hardware, durability, puts together combinations, he's got good cardio. Guy's good. He's a good all-around fighter. I just think Ryone's no joke too. I think Ryone's it could be something special as well. He's not as clean technically as Kurt Holobaugh is on the feet, but he does present some problems.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a tough fight to call when it comes down to it. But I'm going with Kurt Holobaugh.
Yeah.
Just because I think he has more ways to win in this one. All right. Next up, we got Justin Scoggins versus Saeed Nurmagomedov. Woo! Let's go Scoggins flow. It's the return of Justin Scoggins. Everybody likes to call him the choke master. Just because like this guy is always falling into submissions and whatnot. Always. His ass. A lot of people are saying his fight IQ is low. His ass is unlucky. He's just unlucky.
Yeah, it happens.
He gets knocked down by Pedro Munoz, or he slips against Pedro Munoz, and then Pedro Munoz grabs his neck within a second. Like nothing you can do there. Within a second, grabs his neck, chokes him out. What's his name? Oka Sasaki. He was beating the fuck out of Oka Sasaki, and then Oka Sasaki just randomly takes his back. Boom, sinks in a rear naked choke.
Shit, yeah.
And then you see what he did against Ray Borg. He's 30-26 Ray Borg. That's no joke. And he comes from these weird angles, man. He throws the spinning side. He throws his side kick. He has a lot of nice spinning heel kicks that he'll throw. He has a lot of very good movement. He has probably some of the best movement in MMA. Very good of in and out of range. So he's a polished striker. He knows what he's doing. He's all game for that, and like that's what Saeed Nurmagomedov does as well. He's kind of like a flashy striker. Doesn't really fight like Khabib at all. He's more of like a karate-based guy, so he goes for like a lot of kicks and stuff. Doesn't Scoggins likes to use his hands a little bit more. I like that Scoggins likes to use his hands. Scoggins also likes to use his wrestling, so look out for that. And Saeed Nurmagomedov has never cut down to 125 pounds. This was his first time doing so, and he looked horrible on the scales. He looked absolutely horrible on the scales. Yeah, he looked really bad on the scales. Really? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was like a pathetic mean mug, or he just didn't look good?
Oh, hopefully I can get it for you guys. Let's see if I can get it for you guys. But yeah, he just did not look good at all.
Yeah.
He looks drawn out and stuff. He's never fought at this weight before, so you can imagine like yeah,
Kicks are going to be at a minimum.
Oh, I think he's gonna gas out by the third round. And like Scoggins will be able to like put it on him. If not get a 30-27, he'll get a late finish. Scoggins. I'm very confident in Scoggins. There he is. Hold up.
It's gonna be a long first round for Saeed, man.
Can you see that?
Oh, oh yeah. You can see his like cheek sucked in from where you're showing it. Actually.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
He came in like on weight though, right? Like he wasn't over.
He was 126, so like he was on weight.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That's good.
I really like Scoggins in this spot, and I got him 4 units plus 134, I believe. Let me double check that. 4 units plus 134. 4 units Justin Scoggins plus 134 to win 5.36 units. Hashtag UFC Boise, let's go.
I'm pretty sure you had to tell me this, that he is not related to Khabib when I first researched him up.
No, he is.
Oh, is he? I thought he wasn't at all.
He is. That's his cousin.
Oh, like legit. But he doesn't train at AKA.
No, he trains with Mark Henry.
Okay. Well, again, very gambly strikes. He's got awesome right hand. Lands right on the button. He only has 2 TKOs, but I don't know how. He smacks people up with kicks. I saw him throw like a kick to like the thigh, and then one kick to the head, off balance on his back foot. People just don't do that. He aimed like a high kick downwards, stepping backwards, throwing back kicks, like a mule kick. Again, no one sees it, and utilizes some awesome weapons that I don't really think are on display for a lot of people. I mean, Justin Scoggins, yeah, terrible luck as of now. Interview said he wants to test him since he's not been in the UFC. He wants to put on a show, but also said he would get on his bike if he needs to. And if this comes into play, he can actually walk opponents into some shots, some of those spinning kicks and side kicks, very fast off the trigger. And if he scares,
he's better at what he does. Like Saeed tries to do what Scoggins already does, like really well.
Scoggins wouldn't have to set it up. Saeed has to, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's he's got an awesome heel kick, like you said. Potential takedown too, because sometimes fighters think that he's going for kicks, but he might go for a takedown. Could be aggressive at times, like in a fight with Yuta, but he was clipping Yuta in that fight that he lost anyway. I'm pretty sure he landed one of those crazy kicks that
he was.
Yeah, he had him off his rocker. So Yuta was in survival mode. So I mean, we see a lot of fighters are better in survival mode than they are fresh in the very first round. So I mean, I think we got to give Scoggins some benefit of the doubt. I actually got Scoggins in this fight too. I never knew about Saeed's first time at that weight, so yeah, that changes things a lot, man.
Oh yeah, man. If you never fought at a weight class below, you don't know how your gas tank's gonna be. You don't know how you're gonna perform at that weight. I don't know how bad the weight cut was. It doesn't look like it was good at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like all these things playing into effect after.
Yeah.
But next up we got Darren Elkins taking on Alexander Volkanovski. Another great fight, man. Great fight. And straight up, I got 6 units on Alexander Volkanovski at -300 to win 2 units.
I thought you would.
And I have to, man. Put more than it's a little bit more than a max bet. It's 6 units, but hey, man, we're living. It's -300, and like we're a little bit he was a little bit lower than minus 300 at a time today. So like that kind of pissed me off. I could have got him less than minus 300, but minus 300 is usually what I play. Straight is the maximum that I'll play straight. So he got me right at the straight. I mean, there's a ton of value in the line. I think he should be at least a minus 500. At the very least, a minus 500. I think he does what Mirsad Bektik did to Darren Elkins, but he doesn't gas. You saw the kind of beating this guy put on Hirota. What he did to Jeremy Kennedy.
Oh, no. That was scary.
Yeah, what he did to Jeremy Kennedy. The beating he gave Shane Young. These are all, and Shane Young's tough as motherfucker from City Kickboxing. You guys saw what he did at UFC Singapore. So like Volkanovski is the real deal, I think, man. And like I think he's one of the guys on the uprise. He can take that number 10 spot from Darren Elkins. That sweet number 10 spot if he wins. So I think Volkanovski goes in there and he gives a great performance, and I think he legitimately like 10-8 Darren Elkins in 2 rounds. Or if not, he gets a late finish or something. Maybe an early finish, who knows. That's why I want to play him straight just in case he gets a finish. I was gonna play the by decision prop because Darren Elkins is a tough guy, but I see maybe a finish happening, so I'd rather play it straight.
Yeah.
So I got 6 units. Alexander Volkanovski to win, minus 300 to win 2 units. So let's go.
Even though Darren Elkins did win that Michael Johnson fight, didn't look like a good win. He had to take a lot of punishment, and that's what he has to do every fight. Very similar to like a Michael Chandler or a Justin Gaethje. He takes punishment while coming forward, and in doing that, he can set fighters up for a lot of big shots. The guys like Doomsday, he's just built to beat Superman. He's built to beat some of the best strikers who have one-shot power. He can take that one shot and keep walking forward, and just instill a really big pace. A lot of combination of grappling and striking, dirty boxing, body kicks. Very sneaky when he comes in with his lowered stance. He wants to hone fighters in to match heights always, looking to land bombs down the middle. To beat Darren Elkins standing, you need to grab the fence because if he takes your back, you can get body triangled. Like I forget which fight. I'm pretty sure they had Darren Elkins up against the fence, and they just kept grabbing the fence. And it was the only real thing that was stopping Elkins, because he's a top grappler, and he's tough when he wants to get out of a tight spot. Alexander Volkanovski, the great. It all really does come back around. I remember you told me about this guy, and when I checked him out, man, he's very impressive to watch. Very rarely has a height advantage, and I think that's why he does so well. Keeping leg kicks really high, which is something that a lot of people say but don't do. He does it. Low kicks are in your face. Big overhand right is coming soon. Demolishing Jamie Mullarkey, undefeated and with a reach advantage over him. Volkanovski isn't something that you want chasing after you because he's really good at it. He stops. He likes pumping the brakes every now and then, but he's really good at landing the punch and moving away again and starting back. Again, even busier with the leg kicks if you're losing. Ending Jeremy Kennedy's first fight, lost by just constant punches. And Kennedy couldn't fight back. And if he was fighting back, the ref obviously didn't see that it was doing much. Volk can mix his wrestling in with his boxing just as good as Elkins, which is why, this similar way as Elkins. He's got a good clinch and a good sprawl. And he played rugby, so his stamina is super high, which pretty much clarifies everything, from the pressure to the stop and start kind of fight plan. And I like Alexander Volkanovski in this fight. I think a lot of the dirty boxing and a lot of the big punches that Darren Elkins has is going to be a big factor in that first round. But once he gets tired, I think the great will be able to take advantage and start to walk him down. And, Darren Elkins might actually get his first loss in a while. He's been on a winning streak.
I'm just on Twitter right now. There's a bunch of drama going on.
Is Shaw still like messaging people or what?
Oh no. I'm just looking at other stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. Next.
Do you have Rudeboy Brown next? Or do you have a different one?
I think I have Alejandro Perez next.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Eddie Wineland, all right.
Okay, you want to start that off? Eddie Wineland versus Alejandro Perez?
Oh, yeah. Eddie Wineland, I mean, he likes to throw a lot. He likes to test the jabs. If you watch that Dodson fight, you pretty much watch how Eddie Wineland fights at all times. If he doesn't get hit, moving or knocked out or stopped or whatever, that's exactly how he fights. Just very, very far at an extremely far distance. Fights with his arms wide out there. He can hit you with a really, really fast two-piece. Left kick, slams body kicks high and low combos. Makes hands work. Good at fighting off the back foot. Lots of feints. And he'll hustle to like move his feet away and really kind of avoid big long kicks or any sort of long weapon that you might think you have against him. The only problem is because of the wide stance he takes, low blows tend to happen a lot, which disrupt the fight a little bit. So there's always a weird thing about that because fighters who are winning all of a sudden get hit, and the penalty time, and you're giving both fighters a bit of chance to rest. So if the fight happens the way I think it does, I think Alejandro has a knockout fight and pretty much destroys Eddie Wineland. But I think there are things that can happen throughout the fight that might keep Eddie Wineland away from Alejandro Perez for long enough, and hell, maybe even some stoppage time that might help him rest and stay far away. Alejandro Perez is really fast, and he bounces in on his toes all the time, and he's really springy. And when Dodson fought Eddie Wineland, that's kind of how he is. But Alejandro's bigger than Dodson, so if he's springy and jumpy, you're going to see Eddie Wineland running away just as much. And if Alejandro Perez can attack him and close him down, it could be a decision, and a really weird split decision or a boring fight, because Perez, he does make some mistakes early. He can rush out, and he can get hit by very fast hands. If you don't want to eat his low kicks, you have to be very calm. He's very calm in dangerous situations, chooses his movement, hustles by fighting the hands, controlling the pace and the groundwork, but stand-up can be very open and a little bit hittable. But, don't let Perez get comfortable with kicks, because if he lands one, it's open season, and he's just going to constantly keep turning up the pace. The Matthew Lopez was able to make him miss and make him pay with that left hand. Once Perez smells blood, though, he jumps and he starts to blitz, machine gun punch. And if you can't keep up with that, you're done. And that's why they call him Alejandro Turbo Perez. So I say Alejandro wins this fight, but it can turn ugly real fast just by the way Eddie Wineland's style is, and just how quick he is as a fighter. So
yeah, I was gonna bet Alejandro, but that guy gets dropped with jabs. With jabs.
He's a little jittery, don't you think?
That's not good. When you're getting dropped with jabs 3 times in a fight, like not even slipping, like you're dropping off them.
Yeah.
They're hitting you in the chin, you're falling down. Made me not even want to bet the guy when I saw that. Like, if you can't take a jab, you can't take what the fuck can you take? Eddie Wineland hits you with a right hand, you're going to sleep.
Yeah, and he's fast. So he's not going to be there for very long when he lands that too.
Yeah. So I don't know. This is a tough one to pick. I do like Alejandro Perez here to win, but I don't think this is an easy fight for him by any means.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to bother breaking it down all the way, but Like, I do think Perez is the better boxer,
Oh yeah.
and Wineland keeps his chin in the air a little bit too high for me. And I think he does get clipped at some point, but who knows? All right. Next up, Kat Zingano taking on Marion Reneau. And let's start off with Kat Zingano. So when's the last time Kat fought?
Well, she fought Katlyn Vera, but
Oh, yeah.
before that, she was on like 2 years.
Yeah, she didn't fight since like UFC 200. Yes, okay, so she lost. She won, or she lost against Katlyn, but that wasn't really a split decision. I think Katlyn won that fight. Um, and then she lost against Juliana Pena. She got that, obviously, that 14-second armbar against Ronda Rousey, and she's taking on Marion Reneau here, who is fucking 41 years old. Is that serious?
Yeah. So she's up there with the Dirty Bird and oh wow, blank there. Dan Kelly. There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Dan Kelly's pretty old.
Yeah, but he's still killing it, man.
No, he's not.
for the age, like that's killing it.
He's getting dropped and stuff, poor guy. But I hope he keeps fighting so I can fade him. Yeah. Marion Reneau last one came against Sarah McMahon, where she actually choked out McMahon.
Yeah.
Before that, she got that TKO to Bernardo. She's on a pretty good run as of late, and I actually side with Marion Reneau here. I think she's I think she's gonna be better on the ground, and I think she's got the better, maybe not the better hands, but she's got some pretty good stand up as well. I think this negates their both stand up. I think this plays out on the ground mostly.
Yeah,
and like that, I don't know. I'm going with Marion Reneau here.
I mean, this one's up there. I've always been a fan of Kat Zingano. I mean, I think she's one of those tough fighters who try rise up through adversity. I think she always has a lot to prove in fights. Gets injured, goes through a few kind of tough bouts. For example, I mean the Ronda Rousey and Juliana Pena. I mean the three losses back. All three back to back. Not the greatest, but I think she really wants to come back, and I think she's still got that ferocity in her. She's a little bit younger than her opponent, so a little bit better. Obviously, she would like to be coming off a win, but Marion Reneau is she's a bruiser, man. I mean, she makes you pay for being in certain spots, whether it's stand up or even on the ground. Getting Sarah McMahon in that triangle choke is no easy feat. I mean, Sarah McMahon's a good wrestler, and she's normally pretty good against people who try to put her in submissions, and she's good on the feet. So yeah, Reneau's definitely been proving herself as of now, and hey, I think I get still pretty close down the middle, but I got Kat just based off I like her a little bit more. I think she's gone through some tough fights. The split was crazy. I thought she made some rounds close, but obviously it's going to get difficult when you make the fight look like that. Yeah, I say Kat takes it maybe by decision or something, but I will see what happens.
Yeah, I guess I'll do this in a little bit.
Yeah. Oh. All right, yeah, you're good.
Okay, so
Wasn't even a second. Go ahead.
Chad Mendes coming back off what is it, 2.5 year layoff
Yeah.
from being suspended by USADA for using psoriasis cream that had steroids in it. Yeah, poor guy. So yeah,
Poor guy.
yeah. And then he was using psoriasis cream and it had steroids in it. It's not his fault. He needs the fucking cream.
But was he on it, or like I don't know? I don't know what the situation is, but
I don't think he was on it. I think he was just taking cream. Like he had psoriasis and he was taking cream for his psoriasis, and it has like traces of steroids in there or whatever. It's something that's like not allowed. I don't know. But he's coming back, and a lot of people are fading him, man. Myles Jury is the Twitter guy of the week, or apparently. Everyone's jumping on him, and I just got a brain fart there, but yeah, I don't know why the guy's got good jiu-jitsu and everything, but you're going against a D1 wrestler, Chad Mendes.
Yeah.
And Chad Mendes is a 2-time All-American, I believe. If I'm correct, I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure he's a 2-time All-American. Myles Jury comes from that Jury Jiu-Jitsu. He's got some nasty Jiu-Jitsu, but stand-up wise, I think he's a little bit more technical than Chad Mendes, but Chad Mendes has more power than him. A little bit Chad Mendes is a little bit faster as well. I think that's going to play an advantage for Chad. I think Chad gets to takedowns when he wants, and he plays his game, man. I think Chad gets a win here. So I'm going with Chad Mendes.
Interesting. I was actually leaning Myles Jury, but as I kind of went back into some fights, I mean, Chad Mendes has fight of the year with Jose Aldo when they fought for the second time, and I have to agree that was one of my favorite fights. Still remember it. Enjoyed it a lot rewatching it, and in the last 4 fights, he didn't have any easy opponents. He had to fight Jose Aldo, Ricardo Lamas, Conor McGregor, and Frankie Edgar. So Myles Jury is pretty much the best step down you can take, because he
knocked out Lamas too.
Yeah, but I mean, he fought Conor McGregor, Frankie Edgar, and Jose Aldo twice, so world beaters. And I mean, Myles Jury really good at developing striking pace and picking the right punches on cruise control. I like that. Very accurate when he uses his stance. You can switch. He's very calm punching, using distance management against Rick Glenn. Good knees, really good knees, and likes to measure with the jab. Thrown out in front, kicks a lot, and takedown, and took Glenn well down in that fight. Jumping knees even after faking front kicks. I thought that was genius. Definitely a highlight to watch. But I mean, Chad Mendes, after looking at more his fights with guys like Conor and Jose, he brings an interesting. He brings a lot of interesting things to a fight, because he's very fast right off the bat. He's got a great right kick and a left hook. He's got a good ducking uppercut that he uses a lot. He's always throwing combination strikes and wrestling, and likes to kind of mix the two jobs together. If you let him, I mean, he could be extremely annoying on his feet in the first 2 rounds. But because Chad plays this kind of, jumpy kickboxing, wrestling, and jumping from thing to thing style, he definitely goes through his stamina fast. And the Jose Aldo fight, he did start to chug in some rounds, but had to really work to capture them back, but just couldn't beat out Jose Aldo's striking, timing. But again, it was an amazing fight. And this is after being finished in the first fight. So, this second fight really wasn't supposed to go the distance. If anything, if it was supposed to be just a demolish, but it wasn't. He made the fight close, and he was taken down twice in one round, and then went on to hit Jose with some real big shots, and fast on the feet, changing angles, and also very effective at striking, even getting tired while kind of moving with it. I mean, I know you're going to get tired eventually, but he does move well with it at times, and he can bear with it. But I mean, the other guy's got to be super tired too. And either win or lose the fight, in my opinion, a crazy move can happen at any time from either of them. So I think it's going to be a good fight. I actually got Chad in this one because this is like the first time he's not headlining a main event too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, pretty much, man. 3 rounds.
Yeah, every one of those fights were main events.
Yeah, Chad and Mendes in 3 rounds might be a beast. Might be a fucking monster. Next up is Randy Rudeboy Brown for Nico Price. Want to talk about that one, Gib?
Oh yeah, sure. I just have it open on a different screen. So Randy Brown, I mean, when he lands a big shot, like his name says, he's rude. He follows up, really good at sprinting until he gains control again. Good at locking up submissions. Awesome sprawl. He's a guillotine master. I mean, he can set up a Darce choke as well. Really likes that. Great throws and sweeps. Really accurate with a jab. Very busy against Mickey Gall. I really like that fight. He took it to Mickey Gall and pretty much laid out the blueprint of how to beat up guys who have the jiu-jitsu and can have a little bit of striking on top. You just keep walking them down, whether they have good striking or not. I mean, Rudeboy Brown meets you at the middle of the octagon, or I mean, if you want to put your back up against the fence, he'll definitely jump on it, and it could be a bad night for you because Rudeboy Brown is good in grappling. He's good in striking. The main thing is he does tend to fade out every now and then if he sprints and doesn't get that kill shot. Sometimes he has been known to wait a little too long, I think. But I mean, he's just setting things up, and he also has a really, really good kick strategy where he goes to fake a left kick, bang, almost kicks with the opposite leg at the exact same time. He seems to be really good at throwing the bait out there and catching anyone who falls for it. Nico Price is a very similar fighter to him. He keeps the pressure on, and once he has good hands and can take a few potential big shots, all of a sudden he starts to making fighters pay who bend forward a lot and have a lot of weight on their front foot, because these guys try to assault a lot of fighters and try to dominate fights, and they normally have their way with it. But when they fight Nico Price, it gets a little difficult. If someone decides to kick, this could get very ugly for Price, but it's not a game over. Price has a very same instinct to finish fights. Like I said, once he lands that big strike and you're visibly shook, he's on you. Very interesting in the Vincent Luque fight. It got a choke on him because I wonder if Randy Brown is capable of the same one if he got past Nico's striking. But it's no easy task, man. And Nico's also good when he gets people to the fence and goes for the legs, keeps it on the ground, and pulled off a real deadly arm triangle. Good at taking the back too. So it'll be an interesting fight, but I think Rudeboy Brown might have him on the grappling if it comes down to it.
Yeah. I like the way the fuck is this? I like Randy in this fight to pick him apart and just do his job, but I think Nico Price gets a late finish here.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Nico Price gets a late finish.
Okay.
So I see him touching him up and stuff, but I see Nico Price clipping him and ultimately finishing him. But yeah, we'll go to the next match. And Dennis Bermudez versus Rick the Gladiator Glenn.
Ooh.
I'll be right back, folks. I'll let Good talk to you about this one.
Okay. So, Zach the Barbarian Otto. I mean, this guy is a submission machine, but has proven to be able to take down a true vet, who I did enjoy watching before, Mike Pyle. Took him on in the first round. Obviously, Mike Pyle is at a pretty high up there age, but you know, he gets the job done. I think he's got some good kickboxing that kept him in the game for as long as it did, even though he was on a bit of a losing streak, and they kind of gave him to Zach Otto to finish. But I mean, you still got to look for the good stuff and everything. I think throughout the fight, he's got great low kicks. Likes to work all throughout the fight, digging in more and more as he lands. It can get real tough as the fight goes on. He's fighting like I don't see this fight kind of going the grappling route too much, because Zach Otto is really good at grappling, and you know, I think he can set up something with. Sorry, guys, just getting some notes mixed up here. He waits for you to step forward and really lands those kicks when you step on the landmines. When guys walk forward, he kind of has a few spaces in the octagon kind of picked out. And as fighters move forward towards them, whether it's the middle of the ring or if they try to get their back up off the cage, he'll throw that. He has a good slip jab, and his right southpaw can be very. Wait, did you say Dennis Bermudez versus Rick Glenn, or?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, my bad. I picked Zach Otto instead.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Fuck. Sorry about that, guys. I'll get to that into the next fight.
Okay, so Dennis Bermudez versus Rick Glenn.
My bad.
Gib just went on ranting about who knows what.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right.
Everyone's pissed off now.
Sorry, man.
Okay, Dennis Bermudez versus Rick Glenn.
Yeah.
Bermudez is going to come in with that wrestling heavy approach, I believe, here. Rick Glenn training on a Team Alpha Male is interesting because those are the guys that have given Dennis Bermudez a few losses in his career. Yeah, this is actually a tough fight to pick. I think Dennis Bermudez can chop him down with low kicks and leg kicks and just get the takedowns when he wants, and exploits the striking here. Darts in and out of striking really well. And I think he gets the job done. I think Rick Glenn's like his name says, he's a gladiator, but it only takes you so far. So I don't know. I like Dennis Bermudez here.
Sorry about that, guys. Had the wrong fight up on the list. It says Zach Otto and Sage next, but yeah, my bad. So Rick Glenn, like I said, gladiator himself. His style of fighting really does look like one with when he has his guard up, both with attacking sharp strikes, nice left uppercut, and defends well against anyone who likes to swipe their hooks. He's got a good southpaw style, and had a real big war with Lance Palmer. Was doing well on the feet, but got choked out by a very talented grappler who was able to weather the storm. And he had to weather quite a storm. He was getting tapped up a bit. Alexander Pimentel by knocking out. He destroyed Alexander Pimentel by knocking him out, peppering him with a jab cross combo that could do no wrong. Fight adding up to the third round finish right jab, kick, jab, cross. Can get his back taken at times if he does miss a kick, or if his back is slightly to the side, and usually from that point he has no choice but to fight his way out of something. So he does get himself into some trouble. Dennis Bermudez, very good at getting to his feet after a failed takedown, hustles to land left hooks. Very good at landing leg kicks in the front legs with his right, always looping hooks. Defensively, can slip punches and land knees or kicks. He can work from close range when he gets fighters against the fence. Punching his opponent's straight shots are always scary, as he can have trouble landing them early. But as the fight goes on and starts to find his pace, he starts having an amazing final round with Darren Elkins, as he always seems to put tall fighters in trouble. So I actually kind of like Dennis Bermudez in this fight.
Yeah, I do too. All right, so next fight, the fight you were talking about, Sage Northcutt versus Zach Otto. And okay, so Super Sage last time out, we learned, well, we knew this already, but Sage does not like to get hit. He's not a fan. He doesn't like to get hit at all.
Nope.
Against Thibault Gouti, you can see him just kind of like shell up or want to shell up at times against Thibault Gouti, and he's just like very stiff on his feet after getting hit and just compromised, and he's like working off emotion and whatnot.
Sorry, my internet cut out there. My bad.
It's all good.
Keep going.
And in that fight, you saw that like whatever he has trouble with like we already knew he had trouble with guys that wrestle him, but like even against the cage, he can't work to get back up. I don't know. There's just a lot of red flags in this fight, and like some of that stands out to me as Sage is like what, like maybe a blue belt. Maybe a blue belt. I'd give him maybe a blue belt. He's probably a white belt, but let's say maybe.
But what is a blue belt worth at that level?
I don't know, but I know Zach Otto has his black belt. So
yeah,
if you want to see how a black belt rolls with a blue belt on the mat, let's see when that hits the floor what Sage is going to do. Zach Otto hits hard. He has a lot of subs coming into the UFC, but in the UFC, I don't think he has one yet. He got knocked out by Lin Jingliang, but he's been but he knocked out Mike Pyle, and he did well against Kichi Kunamoto. And then all the way back to his fight against Josh Berkman and Sergio Moraes. Good fights. But you see that like he's just a step above Sage where Sage is right now. Sage might be a little bit better striker, but I think Zach's better all around. And he has that all around game to make him pay. So I took Zach here. I got 1 second. 2.63 units, Zach Otto plus 114 to win 3 units. So I got Zach Otto there as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So how about you? What were you saying about this fight?
I'll actually start with Sage Northcutt. I kind of already said stuff about Zach Otto, but I'll kind of see if I can rebound off that. Sage is an amazing starter. He's got obviously a wheelhouse of kicks, a lot of speed to them. He's one of those one-shot guys. He can end guys in a shot. And one spinning kick to the body or a crazy big Superman punch. He's young. He can do it. He can pull it off. It's just in his overall wheelhouse. The problem is he does have a lot of holes because he has to increase his overall MMA game, and that consists of wrestling and grappling, which I think he's with Team Alpha Male to help him out, right?
Yeah.
again, Sage with his fight with Guti, he was having trouble finding his right hand. And I thought that once Sage actually starts to land that right hand, he does a lot better in fights. The problem is when guys don't let him land that, it gets real frustrating for him real fast. The Mickey Gall fight, and then once you get him to the ground, I mean, it's easy pickings. And blue belt or not, Sage is still a little bit new, newer than a lot of fighters are, unless he fights somebody who's a complete striker, very similar to him. But I think we've already seen him fight a couple guys like that. Zach Otto, again, the Barbarian, very similar to the fight style. He does like to walk forward a lot. I feel like that's why he got beat by Jing Liang that one time. Very brutally KO'd. But again, Jing Liang is super scary for a lot of people and is a nightmare to fight. He was also in his hometown at the time, so he was definitely trying to put on a big show. I got to give it up to Zach Otto, still trying to stay tough throughout that. Again, he likes to hit that front leg with the kick. I was talking earlier about how I feel like he has a few spots on the octagon picked out, and once you jump on those spots, I mean, he's leg kicking you. It's like stepping on a landmine. He already has you set up for it. And if Sage isn't careful, and if Sage pauses a lot and doesn't find that right hand quick, I think Zach Otto's going to kick his legs out from under him. And it could be bad if Sage doesn't kick the pace up and stay farther away or have a problem with that. He's very fast, so I don't think he'll be able to get hit too much in the first round. But it can get real bad for Sage as the fight wears on and Zach starts clinching. Zach fought Kunimoto, and Kunimoto's a brown belt, so that fight took place a lot on the ground. I don't see that fight I don't see if the fight goes to the ground, Sage wrestling it to a split as if or as someone else or another fighter would be able to if Zach was giving him a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think Sage has the groundwork that's cut out. He might have the striking, but if he can't knock Zach Otto out, it's going to go to the judges, and we'll see what happens.
All right, and to our main event we go. Junior Dos Santos taking on Blagoy Ivanov. And Blagoy, man, you go watch this guy's WSOF fights as well as series of fights, and he pushes the pace, definitely pushes the pace, but to what point does he is he only throwing single shots? He's not throwing combinations. He has this crazy sambo background where he's fought Fedor in sambo.
Yeah, I watched that. Holy shit.
And he doesn't even use it. He doesn't even use the sambo. Barely uses his wrestling at all. So he's primarily a stand-up fighter. He's got some heavy bumps, but who doesn't at heavyweight? And he seems a little slow to me on the feet. It seems like one of those out of shape heavyweights that are just, they're chubby, they just move slow. They're like Roy Nelson. But Roy Nelson puts people to sleep. This guy, he can put you to sleep, but he gets a lot of decisions as well. Just outpointing you, being more aggressive, throwing that jab in your face. But I think JDS is the better boxer here, and I think there's no way that JDS doesn't box him up, man. This guy's coming in here 16-1. He's never fought a boxer like JDS. Granted, JDS has never fought somebody like him, probably. Or you can say,
I guess he's a boxer, right?
Well, yeah, but not to this. What Stipe? Oh my goodness, what Stipe would do to Blagoy?
Yeah.
I think Stipe would kill him, but JDS here, I think he can easily pick this up from one of my group chats. There's a good chance that he just pops him with the jab, circles around him, and keeps that up for 5 rounds. Who knows? But I can see Junior Dos Santos tagging him here with a couple nice 1-2 and putting Blagoy Ivanov to sleep. So I got Junior Dos Santos here with a knockout.
I would definitely love to see Dos Santos come back and get a real big knockout. I'm a huge fan of his fights with guys like Cain Velasquez. I mean, 3 fights, just wars every single fight. This guy fought Mark Hunt, Stipe, pretty much. He beat the current champ at the time before Cormier took him out. I actually thought he was going to win against Alistair Overeem, but I mean that punch definitely caught me off by surprise. Blagoy Ivanov, though, is very impressive. I like how he throws his punches. He like loops them around people. It's that kind of hammer. He can even hammer fist punch a lot. He does tend to trade a little dangerously, and that could be his downfall, especially against Dos Santos, because he is a good boxer. And once he plants his feet and starts picking his punches, he can rail anybody who thinks that they can stand with him in certain spots, because Dos Santos has a few. He's actually very deadly when his back is up against the cage. I remember he was able to hit Cain Velasquez with a lot of big shots because Cain thought that he was pursuing him and getting his back to the fence, but almost right before his back would hit the fence, he bang, stand in the spot and really torque a right hand his way. I think Blagoy Ivanov walks into a lot of those big rights and has kind of traded exchanges with a few fighters, but again, he does make short work of a lot of his opponents. And Ivanov is definitely a very anticipated heavyweight to see, especially in this UFC. He's got some tools in the chest, and I would definitely love to see him fight another big name like Dos Santos. So, I actually I got Dos Santos in this fight, but I can see why Ivanov is fighting him in the first place. To be honest, I had to do quite a bit of research. He's also a submission guy. You can definitely get those Kimuras if he needed to. Super deadly on the ground once he gets you there. I think I hope the fight will remain standing and they just trade. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I got Dos Santos though.
Yeah,
I think JDS comes back.
Yeah, I think he makes a comeback as well. All right, guys. So that does it for UFC Boise. We'll see you next week for UFC Hamburg. I think that one's on a Sunday, if I'm correct. I think it's on a Sunday. But we'll see you next week, nevertheless, for UFC Hamburg. Let's cash these bets and fucking let's keep doing what we're doing. Let's get back and let's just grind, guys. If we're in the hole, grind it out. Let's just do what we have to do to make it to the top. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Easy, guys.
Have a good one.